it's got that little summer feel out there.
Yeah, just a little bit. And I think this time next week, we're definitely going to feel the little tingles of summer creeping in with the humidity going up.
I know, and you guys broke out the muggy meter for the first time.
We
I said,
sure
we're gonna
did.
hold off until May, but we just couldn't do it, right?
Had to test it all. So it's back, y'all.
It's back. Hey, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about rain chances. But first, next big thing, Easter weekend. Are we going to see rainfall? We're going to talk about that right now. Let's go over to the graphics here. And first up, we do have a live look from Reform. And I was noticing on the camera there just a few moments ago, might have been some turkeys that were crossing right there at the airport in Reform. But mostly sunny sky. The temperature's at 80 degrees right now. It's very warm out there. You can see those temperatures for a lot of areas. Tuscaloosa's at 79. We're showing 78 at Anniston. Current feels like temperature at the moment. The radar, this is just ground clutter. Around here locally, we have dry conditions. But when you look what's happening further north, a lot of severe weather happening right now. You can see there's actually a tornado warning around the Omaha area. But this is the beginning of several days of active weather that will impact states west of Alabama. So if you are going to be traveling in that direction, looks like through Easter Sunday, there will be a risk for severe weather, but that's going to stay west of our state through Easter. Now, what's next for us? We have summer-like warmth coming up, highs in the 80s. Again, it still looks mostly dry through Easter because of high pressure, but we will eventually see some of that rain coming back and the possibility of a few storms by Monday. It still looks like Sunday night and into Monday. You'll see the rain coverage. There is some rain over the next 6 days, but a lot of that comes in starting at next week. You can see Monday, even Tuesday, some leftover scattered showers and storms because this system, it stalls out and into the middle of next week. It's not a total washout, but very summer-like. There's going to be hit or miss showers and storms, so be sure to check in and stay weather alert next week because we'll have more specifics on the timing each day for those pop-up showers and storms. But here's Easter Sunday. Again, we're going to see by lunchtime 79 degrees and into the afternoon around 84. Some clouds building in, but at this point it looks like we'll be rain-free for most of the day. Look for those rain chances to come back Sunday night. But we're going to talk a lot more about next week. I'll have the 10-day forecast coming up. And right now, I want to go to Lauren because, Lauren, we were talking more about that risk of severe storms back to the west of Alabama, and this is just the beginning. It looks like they did increase that risk to more of an enhanced risk, at least for today and into tomorrow.
Yeah, Wes, definitely some very active weather off to our northwest, and there's even some winter weather mischief in the mix. Let me just clarify that that is not happening here. Quite frankly, our weather's going to be pretty boring the next few days, so we're very thankful for that. But let's check in on our neighbors to the west, especially since you could be traveling for Easter. So this is the current outlook today from the Storm Prediction Center, and this is highlighting areas across the Midwest into parts of the Great Plains where you're going to be seeing that possibility for some severe storms to develop tonight. So especially around Omaha and Des Moines, that's where we're seeing that level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk for some severe storms where you see the orange showing up. The main issue with the storms today up to our northwest is going to be that possibility for very large hail. And we say large hail a lot. What does that mean? Well, in this case, we could be talking about apple-sized hail. So just let that sink in. You definitely want, if you have any friends or family who live out this way, tell them to park their cars in the garage. Isolated tornado also possible, but damaging winds with this particular system. So as we're going forward in time here, we have been watching a few storms that have actually already had some warnings on it, where you see the yellow polygons. Those are where severe thunderstorm warnings are in place. And then this particular nasty storm that we're seeing up in the Midwest, this is approaching that I-29 corridor. This actually has a tornado warning on it. And notice with just these two storms alone, we have over 2,000 lightning strikes on it. So this is approaching the Omaha metro. If you have any friends or family, be the hero, give them that first alert that there are some storms approaching them from the west. So keeping an eye on those over the next 2 hours, these will continue to move towards the Omaha metro, these supercell thunderstorms that have developed, and they will eventually be getting closer to areas like Des Moines as we go into tonight. Now back farther into the Intermountain West, we look up farther to the northwest. We've got areas across Wyoming into the Dakotas where we've been seeing some winter weather. You can see some snow coming down in Casper, Wyoming. Some of that has also been falling already in Salt Lake City, the Denver metro area. You can see in Wyoming, they have picked up in the past 24 hours over 7 inches of snow, and up into Billings, you can also see they've picked up over 5.5 inches of snow. And then up in Idaho, closer to Idaho Falls, 4.5 inches of snow, and about half an inch thus far in Salt Lake City. Rapid City, about 1.5 inches of snow. So as we go forward in time, these are kind of the two big weather makers across the country. As we track it out here, that one low pressure system that has been bringing that severe threat is going to move through the upper Midwest and approach the Ohio River Valley as we go into the overnight hours. And you'll notice more snow is going to be falling across the Rockies. So areas like Denver that were in the 70s earlier this week are going to be blanketed with snow as we go forward in time. You see snow continuing across the Rockies as we go tomorrow afternoon at around 12 o'clock. And notice this system, that cold front associated with that, it's slowly making its way eastward across the U.S. So this system is actually the one that we're going to be keeping a close eye on as we get into the latter half of the weekend, because this particular system that we're seeing that is bringing the rain, storm, and snow threat to other parts of the country is the same system that could eventually be bringing us some rain as we get closer to Easter Sunday. The question is, though, could we see any snow, or excuse me, we're not going to be seeing any snow. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there, but could we be seeing any rain as we head towards Easter weekend, Tania?
Hey, listen, for us here at home, I don't think we're going to see much wet weather this Easter weekend. Looks like those better rain chances occur for us next week. But across the country, depending on where you're traveling, you might just run into some very active weather. So here's a look at that travel forecast starting off tomorrow. Tomorrow's Good Friday, so maybe you might be hitting the road. I know some kids are out of school. Some people, adults, are off of work, so it doesn't hurt to hit the roads early. I think tomorrow will be the better day to hit those roadways, because notice as we continue past tomorrow and into Saturday, you can see how much more of that system begins to develop across parts of our country. So if you're traveling up to St. Louis, Missouri, and even back towards parts of Texas, Saturday could bring some severe and very active weather. Now, this is actually Sunday, showing that this system continues to stay out to our north and our west, and that's what we're following over the next couple of days. So you really want to make sure that you are planning those travel plans accordingly, checking in on our First Alert Weather app, because you can get notifications when heavy rain or severe storms are near you, no matter what location across the U.S. you are at. Well, these severe weather threats also happening as millions across parts of the South are bracing for wildfires too. Officials say damage from last year's hurricanes could further fuel the flames. Fox News' senior correspondent Jonathan Sari has more.
Dry air and gusty winds creating the perfect storm of fire conditions across the South this week. More than 4 million people are under red flag warnings.
Please let it rain. Let it rain here.
In Florida, the conditions have sparked dozens of wildfires, though officials say most are contained.
If you decide to have a fire, it gets out of control, you call 911 and we issue our response to get out there. As dry as conditions are, the fire increases and escalates very rapidly.
And the threat is expected to continue through at least June. The National Interagency Fire Center says debris left over from major hurricanes, including Helene and Debbie, could fuel flames in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas in the coming months. Officials across the Southeast are urging people to take steps to prepare their homes.
The roof is cleaned off, and then you've got the branches trimmed around the roof area, and you want to keep the 0 to 5 foot range around the home vegetative free if possible.
Meanwhile, on the West Coast, forecasters say the rainy season is winding down and dry weather is on the way. Multiple states are bringing in additional fire crews and going door to door to get folks ready.
We will point out things where there is something combustible that could be ignited by an airborne ember, or ways that they can reduce the risk of a fire running along the ground.
Fire officials say people under a red flag warning should avoid outdoor burning, which could spark a flame. In Atlanta, Jonathan Sari, Fox News.
Well, coming up right here on First Alert Weather Extra, we talk about what you can expect for your Good Friday. Plus, get this, we're taking you beyond the stars to what's happening in outer space. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Welcome back to First Alert Weather Extra. Meteorologist Lauren Linehan here. I know probably some of you still have the sniffles. It definitely gets to us when we're early in allergy season, which is the start of spring. But I did want to update you on some of the allergies across our area, those allergens that could be bothering you. Right now, the grasses, those grass pollens like ragweed, they're at medium levels. Now, ragweed especially, that tends to get really rambunctious as we get closer to the fall months. So we almost see that little secondary allergy season come up. Mold levels right now are low since it's been dry. And the weeds, the ragweeds, that's what I was talking about, those medium levels. But even if you're more sensitive to the grass pollens, those as well have been on the medium side. But of course, the ones right now that we see so often in early spring when the trees are blooming, that's those tree pollens. And especially the pine pollens are the ones that get the yellow, yucky stuff all over your car. That has improved a little bit, but there are still other trees that are blooming like oak trees, juniper trees. So those are causing the pollen levels to be really high. So as we always say, this time of the year, you got to take care of yourself to get through this allergy season. Make sure you're doing those nasal rinses and taking your allergy meds. Tania.
Thanks, Lauren. Taking you beyond the atmosphere now to where new research shows there could be signs of possible life on another planet. This is according to Cambridge University. The planet known as K2-18b is far outside our solar system, nearly 120 light years away, matter of fact. Using the James Webb Space Telescope, scientists detected signs of two gases that can be found in living organisms here on Earth. The study's author cautions they are not saying they have detected life and more research is still needed. Also happening in the night sky, the Lyrids meteor shower is taking place. NASA says it'll be active through April 26 with 5 to 6 meteor showers an hour visible at night. The peak will be this Monday and upcoming Tuesday. Hopefully we'll catch some breaks in those clouds to be able to see that. But don't go anywhere because Weather Extra this Monday, we actually speak to our friends from Earth Sky about this phenomenon and the best time for you to get outside and actually see it. Lauren?
Well, Tania, back here on Earth as we get closer to everyone's favorite holiday, Earth Day, if you're a tree hugger like me, environmental experts are warning of a potential harm to the planet that is often invisible to the naked eye. Fox News correspondent Chanley Painter has more.
Plastic is everywhere, including where you can't see. Advancements in technology have helped scientists to discover microplastics within the last decade, which has environmentalists raising the alarm.
They're really, really small plastics. They're in beauty projects. They're also, most of our clothes are made from plastic.
Microplastics often end up in water systems when they get washed out of items, which can harm oceans and aquatic life.
And our wastewater treatment systems are not designed to actually remove those.
While some households may have water filters, microplastics could still be hanging around.
Because we can filter it out doesn't actually mean we're removing it.
Over time, microplastics can get smaller and smaller, making it necessary to frequently clean out faucet filters.
You would probably have to unscrew it, get rid of the microplastics, wash it out, put it back on.
Various foods also carry microplastics, making it very common to end up in human bodies.
They can get beyond the blood-brain barrier.
Even healthy diets are likely not safe from the tiny plastics because it is often found in materials to help crops grow. While scientists have yet to prove if microplastics alone cause health concerns, they could potentially be carriers to other dangerous materials.
Microplastics, by nature of sort of their chemistry, can bind contaminants, metals, PFAS, and carry them and move them.
Staying away from plastic products and using natural materials are recommended ways to reduce your microplastic use on a daily basis. I'm Chanley Painter, Fox News.
And don't go anywhere. We talk about the potential for some rain as we get closer to Easter Sunday. And we head to the classroom where we meet our newest junior weather watchers. We'll be right back. They're so cute.
And welcome back to Weather Extra. If you have plans to do a little yard work tomorrow, well, one thing we're starting to see, notice we're getting close to that too hot for yard work category. It's starting to heat up out there. It felt warm today. Temperatures will be rising into the mid to upper 80s. So late morning, lunchtime, not too bad. Notice as we go to next week, we start to see that humidity level start to really ramp up around Monday and Tuesday. It's going to start to feel more humid, so the humidity factor becoming more of a mix here over the next few days. But looks like morning, still nice weather early in the day. We'll see those lows down into the 50s. If you have plans for Good Friday tomorrow, maybe enjoying the day off, notice afternoon temperatures rising into the mid 80s. No rain expected, and the wind will be out of the south tomorrow at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Temperature around 85 degrees there during the afternoon, a partly cloudy sky. Future radar, this is brand new data. This is, we're now seeing the first runs of the high resolution model. So I want to show you this. This takes us all the way through Easter Sunday, and one thing we've been waiting on this. It's lining up with what a lot of the longer range models were suggesting and holding off on the wet weather until late Sunday, with one little change here. I want to show you this. Most of Friday, you can see dry conditions there. Big warm up. Look, this data is showing 91. Look at that Demopolis there later in the day tomorrow. So some of these models really heating things up later tomorrow. But Saturday during the morning, there might be a couple of showers. You see right there a little bit of rain showing up in some areas. What's going to happen? We get that south flow coming back, so there's going to be some low-level moisture, and that may generate an isolated sprinkle or two early Saturday. So we did put a small 10% chance of rain in there. Certainly don't cancel any plans. It's going to be another nice day. We'll start with some morning low clouds, some afternoon sunshine, and then during the day on Easter Sunday, again, dry weather holds on for most of the day, and afternoon temperatures rising into the mid 80s. But that next system, the way it times out, again, it's close call here, but all that active weather Lauren was telling you about in states west of Alabama, you can see that system moves in, and it really starts to slow down here into Monday. It stalls out. All the upper air support is going to lift to the north, so it leaves this boundary nearby through the middle of next week. So it looks like not just Monday, but even Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we could see a few scattered showers and storms. It looks like the greater coverage Monday, maybe a strong storm or two. It's a possibility. We're not seeing a major severe risk out of this, but we'll need to watch for a couple storms with some gusty winds, some frequent lightning, and then you can see those rain chances will continue into the end of next week. Now, I wouldn't cancel any plans Wednesday, Thursday, and next week, as it's very summer-like, very hit or miss, very scattered rainfall activity. But thankfully, the weather was nice today for a Weather in the Classroom visit. Check out all of these junior weather watchers at Coosa Valley Elementary School, and I want to thank Miss Baker and all the third and fourth grade teachers there. Wonderful staff and a wonderful group of students. Had so much fun. Met the lunchroom staff there as well, and I want to thank everyone for a nice warm welcome to the Cropwell area and over in Pell City. It was just, again, a great day. It felt very summer-like out there today. I know the kids were excited about summer break. It won't be. It's not far away, it's on the way, but we did talk a little bit about weather safety and talked a lot about the science of meteorology. And you can learn about the weather. Go to Weather in the Classroom. Sign up at WBRC.com for one of our weather team members to come visit your school. You can also color the weather. We've been sharing some of those pictures right here. But as we look ahead into next week, again, we will be talking about scattered showers and storms. And you know, when you start to get into that pattern, as we go to meteorologist Tania Michelle Tania, when you start talking scattered rainfall, that has a very summer-like vibe to it, especially here in the southeast, right?
Yeah, you start to see those pop-up showers and storms, and then it's a lot harder to pinpoint exactly what areas is going to see rain that day and then what areas might not. So let's go beyond the 7-day and kind of take a look closer to the end of this month and even peeking into the first day of May. This is our temperature outlook 8 to 14 days out from now. It's hard to believe 14 days out until next month. Crazy. As we're looking across the U.S., much of the United States dealing with above average temperatures, and that includes us right here across central Alabama. So we're really cranking up the heat heading into the end of this month. Our precipitation outlook, much of the United States still dealing with above average rainfall, but as we zoom in, it looks like much of central Alabama right near average, and along the coast could be seeing more below average rainfall. And as I'm looking at the end of this month, of course, this is still several days out. Things can and will always change, but here we are looking at April the 25th, looking dry. Okay, that's next weekend. The 26th 26th, might see a passing shower. Doesn't look too bad. Sunday, the 27th, looks fairly dry. We bring in Monday with some dry conditions. And then Tuesday, maybe a passing shower and then possibly a little bit of rain around for Wednesday. That's April the 30th. Again, 8 to 14 days out from now. This is still several days out into next weekend and the week after that. As we bring in May 1st, there may be an isolated shower around, maybe a little bit of clouds. But other than that, the weather doesn't look too bad ending off the month of April. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a final check of your weather on First Alert Weather Extra. Plus, we're taking a look at those weather photos that you sent in to the WBRC First Alert Weather app. We'll be right back.
Well, before we send you, love this one. Before we send you off
cool.
into your Thursday evening, a cloud with Virga and Yolan sent in from Josh Cottingham.
So cool. Brandon Lestill, sunset in Oxford. I love
that's
the
nice,
reflection in the water. That's so beautiful.
And on Twitter, we got a photo from Boltmaster 2012. Rainbow over Nakalula Falls.
Nakalula Falls has been showing out.
Well, this is Tennessee. But hey, Norma Bryan always got the good content from up in Lincoln County, Tennessee.
Yeah, it's wild how all that orange shows up right there in that Tennessee photo.
Yeah, right.
It's just coincidence, right?
Yeah.
But hey, we want to thank Norma for sharing that photo. But we appreciate all the photos, and you can send those in on the First Alert Weather app.
Sure can.
You can. It doesn't matter if you're here in Alabama or Tennessee or maybe on the other side of the world. We love to see those views. Anything preferably weather related would be good.
Yeah, we like those. We like those. Listen, we're going to be watching that weekend forecast closely. Right now, Easter forecast still looks good.
Yeah.
We'll have updates tonight for you, first at 9.